It's been a real honor to work with Terri over the past 6 years. She comes to this role as a deeply spiritual, prayerful person. And it's been refreshing to experience that spirituality within her and how she begins every task that's in front of her with prayer.
It's been a real honor to work closely with Terri for the past 6 years. I appreciate her authenticity and her ability to make herself vulnerable for the sake of the church. She's passionate. She wants to see change, the change that is needed. And she's committed even when it's difficult. It's been a real honor to work with her.
As I think about the future and Terri's leadership with the Christian church, she has some vision about how to help us be more connected. And I see her future leadership really giving us an opportunity, and her an opportunity, to lead us into that vision in a way that will benefit us all, because she's been on the ground working and actually opening herself to God's movement, to being in touch with what God is calling her to do, and to be able to see that lived out is really exciting. She's really concerned about not just our general ministries and our regional ministries, but also the congregation, because she has a love for people in the congregation. And so I think in the future we're going to hopefully see people in congregations respond and be more engaged in a way that kind of fits her vision of us all gathering together, not just around the table, but together in our life every day to do what God is calling us to do.
Just imagine what we can join God in doing.
The work that we're doing as church is for those who will follow, and personally, I have a new grandson who, as I'm speaking now, is about 5.5 months old. My son, I have one child, an adult son, and a beautiful daughter-in-law. They're going to dedicate that baby soon, and I want the Christian Church, the Disciples of Christ, to be a place where they want to raise their son. I want the church that continues to offer hope and support, and to be a place of welcome and wellness to others and generations yet unborn.
Just imagine.
So the people that we're doing this for are the people who will come to know Christ because of our church, the people who will be fed and ministered to because of our church, the ways in which we will advocate to eradicate poverty and racism, the people that we will be blessed and come to know us because of the work we do. But most importantly, for those babies who will yet come, that we will be a place where families can live faithfully and raise their children and form their children in communities where all are welcome and where we're committed to justice and peace and God's best for all.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.
It's hard to imagine a church that you only see every 2 or 3 years. Regional life will be impacted because people will develop the skills to listen and learn. They'll hear examples of people's spiritual practices. They'll be able to access good teachers of Scripture. We'll be moving in a more digital way, preparing digital resources. Lots of different ways, I think, that we can take advantage of this new ecosystem to strengthen our spiritual life.
Just imagine what God is doing.
Just imagine.
Is that we are going to provide opportunity for the General Assembly to essentially be perpetually in session. Not as an in-person event and not even as a multi-day online event, but providing opportunities for congregations and maybe either clusters of congregations to be involved in online discussion, listening, learning, so that we are constantly in touch with one another, constantly listening and learning from one another, constantly raising issues and ideas not just floor debate, but real deep listening, real learning, real engaging about what's happening in our society. Not only how do we need to speak, but what do we need to do? What are our mission priorities? We can't do that just by gathering as general board once a year or every 3 years. So we've got to create a system that allows more people to have their voices heard, not just at decision points, but all along the way as we're learning and listening.
Just imagine.
I'm imagining a more connected church. I'm imagining the beginnings of a shift in culture. I'm imagining that we will begin to change, we will learn, we will correct and adjust, but we will keep moving forward because we will be committed to the very idea that we can, because with God, all things are possible. I say all the time, we are the people of the Springfield Presbytery. They tried something, they decided it wasn't working, and so they said, we're going to stop doing this, and we're going to envision something different. That spirit must be reclaimed. The understanding of covenant is so important, because covenant simply means that we're embracing this relationship with God that calls on us to have a particular kind of relationship with one another. And that we meet at the Lord's table, we stay at the table. We can be a true example in our polarized world of what it means to be at the table with people with whom you don't agree, people maybe that you don't even like or don't like you. And because of the love of Christ, we develop the capacity to be able to stay at the table, because that's the witness that we make to the powerful, limitless love of God. That's a big imagination, but it's not beyond what God is able to do. And so as long as I believe that, I'm going to keep moving toward that. We may not get there while I'm GMP, but I'm just hoping we can have the ship leave port and set sail for new destinations and enjoy the journey together.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.
Just imagine.